Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. This is Ramsey with your pre-match prediction. It's match day. It's Arsenal versus Newcastle. Big game for both teams. Sorry, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. When am I saying Newcastle? Crystal Palace. We played Newcastle already. No, we do have them again. But yeah, this is the preview for Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. And yeah, let's get straight into it. We'll get into the team news. We're going to get into predicted 11s. We're going to get into predicted scores. Let me know in the comments what you think. So let's go. Yeah, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace at the Emirates tonight. It's match day. Yeah, man. So it should be interesting to see the size that both teams put out, and how both teams play. Obviously, both coming in contrasting form. But yeah, we'll get into that as we go along in the stream. Guys, in the comments, in the chat, live chat, let me know what you think. What you think the score is going to be, who you think is going to win the game. Are you surprised by the way both teams are now coming into this game, considering a week ago, it didn't look the same. It did not look the same at all. Arsenal were obviously struggling to get any sort of form, any sort of points in the board. But yeah, it looks like today is coming in with better form today. Coming in with better form. Before we get into the game, obviously a few sort of Arsenal news. Well, the biggest news of the week probably is that Rob Holding signed a new contract at Arsenal. There was rumours last week that he was ready to sign and that he was happy to sign. Obviously, weirdly, at the start of the year, in October, I think it was, it looked like he was going to go on loan to Newcastle. So we're ready to loan him out, considering we had the likes of Mustafi, David Luiz, Gabriel, Mari, Chambers, Saliba. We had loads of centre back. So the main thing was that Arteta's probably saying, look, we got bare centre back, someone need to go. Obviously, Mari was injured at the start of the season. Gabriel was obviously just come. Saliba wasn't ready. Chambers, of course, coming back from a long-term injury. Then we had David Luiz was sort of coming back from an injury as well, I believe. Mustafi wasn't fit. So we kind of needed him to start the season, really. Like it was get to a place where just needed him to play. Socrates wasn't in the team as well. So yeah, it basically looked like he was going to go, but we realized we needed him. And apparently it was a decision that was being made above Arteta. But Arteta just then said, no, actually, I want Rob to stay. I want him to stay. So he ends up staying at Arsenal, and then what? A period of 4 or 5 months of good form, kind of settled in the team with Gabriel. He settled in the team even more so with Mari in the past couple of weeks. And yeah, now he's got a new deal. He signed a new long-term contract. So I think the loan would have been temporary. I think he would have come back anyway, maybe just to get a bit of game time. But yeah, now Arsenal want him to stay. He's probably first team right now. And yeah, it looks like he's gonna stay for a little bit longer. His new deal runs out until 2024 with option for a further year to that. So it's a longer contract. He's 25 years old, so he's got another 3-4 years here. Arteta likes him in the dressing room. He contributes on and off the pitch. Obviously, he's homegrown, so that meets one of our numbers there as well. And yeah, he's been it's been quite good. Obviously, played in the FA Cup final. I think he's now played in 2 FA Cup finals now. So massive experience that he's bringing now to the squad at 25 at the back. So, and hopefully he'll be a mainstay in Arsenal's side going forward. So yeah, big news for that for Rob Holding to get a new deal this week. Also, we're here. Man like Mesut Ozil did his Q&A this week. So we know that he's going to be leaving to Fenerbahce or in talks with Fenerbahce. He said he's a Fenerbahce fan. But he also, one of the big things he said in his Q&A is that he didn't regret his Arsenal move. Said that there's ups and downs, but he doesn't regret joining. And he was a massive part of our side. Obviously, his contract runs out in the summer. and apparently he's in Turkey at the moment talking with Fenerbahce. So we'll see the progress on that. But he's a fan of the club. He admitted it. He loves the club as a young boy. Um, a lot of him and his friends, were big fan of Fenerbahce fans. Growing up as a kid in Germany, a lot of people that are sort of German Turkish individuals do end up supporting a Turkish team in Germany. So, and he went with Fenerbahce. He said it's like the biggest club in the country over there. So, yeah, man, it looks like he's gonna be leaving. We don't really know the ins and outs. Don't know what the contract's like. We don't know if there's gonna be any finances on the table. Um, but the reality is, he's been a great player for us, and he said he enjoyed it playing for us all the way up until um, the Corona break, really, because that's when he lost his place on the side. Um, yeah, and things have changed, and unfortunately, he's no longer part of the first team plans, or second team plans, or even third team plans. He's not even registered in the squad. And I think maybe he thought if I stay for a few months, come January, they might realize they miss me. And there's a part of that rings some truth. We probably do miss Mesut Ozil in terms of the creative spark, but it looks like Arteta doesn't want to go back on his terms. He wants it on his own terms. So it looks like Ozil will be leaving, whether it's now or in January. But he won't be being registered as part of the squad, and hopefully frees up some funds. Um, and I'll talk about it a little bit more on a podcast this week about players that I want, like maybe a Julian Brand. It looks like we're in talks with Buendia. Maybe it's now the time we just replace Mesut Ozil with our long-term signing in January, if we can get a deal like that done. Obviously, January is not the easiest time, but it's a time to get the deal done. But yeah, Mesut Ozil is not he's not part of Arteta's plans in the very near or even far distant future. So yeah, man, it was good to have him here, but yeah, Mesut, time to go. It's time to go indeed. Yeah, man. So apart from that, no other sort of major news. There's obviously talk about Torreira coming back and Guendouzi coming back. Guendouzi, we've heard he definitely will be staying in Germany. He's had some good performances for Berlin, I think it is over there, Hertha Berlin. But it looks like he's going to stay in Germany. He's not going to come back on loan. And the interesting one is Lucas Torreira, to be honest. So Lucas Torreira, you may remember, was loaned out to Atletico Madrid actually just before we signed Partey. There was no obligation to buy. There was no option to buy. It was just a straight loan. Now, Torreira has barely been part of Simeone's plans, mostly been on the bench, sub player, sometimes not even getting off the bench, playing sort of in like the lower reserve kind of games, the under 23 games, and not really getting a say in the first team. Now, obviously, Atletico are top of the league in La Liga, so you kind of don't want to change a winning team anyway. So maybe if the players, the Sauls and the Kokes of this world weren't playing as well, he may get an opportunity. But as they are playing so well, and they are top, with like 3 games in hand over Real Madrid and Barcelona, it it's he's never going to get in that side. And weirdly, after we sold Partey to them, they got a little buy from La Liga to go and buy a replacement for him, even though the transfer window closed, which we could never have known about, of course. So they ended up buying Kondogbia, Atletico, and then Torreira was obviously just left like even further down the pecking order. So the reality is, um, it is what it is. Torreira doesn't get to play games, but hopefully, there's talks about maybe a deal of him coming back, but he won't be coming back to play. He'll probably be coming back and then going out on loan again to maybe Italy, where he can get some playing time because um, he is still an Arsenal player, and Arsenal probably do want him to play. But I don't see him being part of Arteta's plans going forward. I'd be very surprised if he was. I got a comment here from Jordan Brown. Arsenal next Prem games: Palace, Newcastle, Southampton. My club, Man United. Wolves, Villa, Leeds, City, Leicester, Burnley, Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool, and your fans are content with 11th and 17th games. Listen, there's no easy game in the Prem. There's no easy game in the Prem. Look at the games that we lost earlier on in the season. We lost some big games, we lost some small games. We lost to Liverpool, we lost to Man City, we lost, and we lost to the likes of Burnley. So and Aston Villa. So there's no easy games in the Prem, but we've also beaten the likes of your team, Man United, and Chelsea. So there's no easy game in the Prem. I don't look at that line and think, oh my gosh, we're going to lose every game. I think Palace, Newcastle, Southampton, we can easily get results there. Man United's going to be difficult, but we went there last season and done it, and we've done it there this season. Wolves, Villa, Leeds, either way, those can go either way easily. Easy can go either way. Leicester, Burnley, Spurs. Sorry, City, Leicester, Burnley, Spurs. That's a tricky one there. West Ham, Liverpool. Again, West Ham either way, and I think Liverpool's going to be a tough game. So, we won't win all those games, and there's no such thing as we'll never be content with 11th place. But the improvement is what we're looking for. We kind of know that maybe the season might already be looking like a write-off, but it's about how far we can chase the pack above us. 3 points behind Chelsea. Big opportunity to get closer to them today, even though they're struggling. But the reality is we're 11th, but we were 15th, and people are talking about us getting relegated. Now all of a sudden we're looking up. So I think we got to take it one game at a time, and hopefully if we build form, we can get something in these games. Said Palace are beating Arsenal 2-0. Zaha and Eze and Roy Hodgson masterclass. Potentially. Listen, I'm not confident with us at the Emirates this year. I never have been really all season. So I'm not going into this one massively confident. There's obviously we don't have a good record at Palace. I think we've not won in the last 4 games against them. So I'm not gonna be surprised if Palace do us over. But with the form coming into this game, that's the only thing that's making me think, oh, you never know. You never actually know. We're coming in with decent form, especially the young bucks. The senior squad maybe not so much, but the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, the Saka, Martinelli. I know he's not fit, but the reality is, we got some good players that are in good form, and Palace, on the other hand, aren't in great form. I watched them against Sheffield United, and they did win the game, but in parts they struggled. And the few games before that weren't pleasing on the eye. I would say maybe Roy Hodgson isn't that sort of manager to make his team pleasing on the eye. But listen, there's no doubt Palace can't come here, and I'll never write them off to not get anything. And yeah, you're right. They do need the points. Palace do need the points to go above us in the table. So for them, they will definitely be going out to try and get the win. It will all be about whether they'll be good enough to come in, whether they'll be good enough to at the Emirates. We'll have to wait and see. I want to get into the lineup and the team that I think Arteta may go with today, because he's got a couple of dilemmas. If we go into the team news, Partey and Gabriel are back. Both have been away for different reasons. Gabriel has been isolating due to a positive COVID test. Partey has had an injury, I think, is in his thigh, which picked up against Spurs and has been out ever since. He's now back in full training as well. So, listen, Arteta's got a selection headache, and that's what I love. I love a selection headache. I love him to be considering who he thinks will play. Does he bring Gabriel back in? He struggled a little bit coming towards the end of last year, and obviously Partey had been injured, so he's not going to be fully fit. So does he go with Partey and Gabriel, or does he go with what he said in the press conference, which was it's hard for. He was talking about Mustafi actually. He's saying Mustafi, he's not going to be sold in January unless a big bid comes in. But it's hard for him to get a place in the side because the defense that keeps clean sheets are playing so well. So there's a slight hint there that he may go with Holden and Mari because they're the two that have been playing well in the past few weeks. And even though Gabriel's back, he could come. He could come in. I hear what you're saying, dude. MCFC. I very do much hear that he's our best centre back. And listen, it's not an easy decision he has to make. But with him not being fully fit in terms of having COVID, I know there's a lot of people that react in different ways. He may be one that may need a bit of time to come back in. So it may be that we don't rush him back whilst you've got a defense that's playing so well. And Gabriel has been our best centre back, but Mari's been sick. Mari has been very, very good since he's come in. And I've not seen him have a bad game. He's maybe struggled in one game, I think, against Man City, the game he got injured. But even then, he weren't too bad. And so maybe he goes with Gabriel and Mari. But then, Holding's playing well, got a new deal, was rested completely in the FA Cup last week, and Mari played the full 120 minutes. He played 120 minutes, Mari did. So maybe there's an inkling to say that he played 120 last week. So Gabriel will come in this week with Holding, but it won't be easy to drop Mari or Holding. And obviously Holding's got the new deal as well. So listen, whichever he goes for, it's not gonna be easy. But I'll let you into what I think he will do, what the team that I think he will put out. So if I can bring up the formation on here. So yeah, this is I think he'll go again with a 4-2-3-1. In goal, I'm gonna go with Bert Leno. Been solid, especially the past few weeks. Saved the penalty against Chelsea. Made a great save against Newcastle to keep us in the cup. So has to go in. Hector Bellerin just released a documentary this week. I haven't seen it yet, but talking about his injuries and his problems that he's had. I still don't know if he's really the man going forward, really. And there's part of me thinking maybe now we do replace him, whether it's this window or the next. But I would definitely keep him in the side. And there's absolutely no way you can ever consider dropping this man, even though he's played 120 minutes last week against Newcastle. The man's been sensational, Kieran Tierney. So he has to go in. He's like the most guaranteed player to start for me, probably with Bernd Leno. And I'm gonna go with Rob, big Rob Holding, new deal. Brought him into my fantasy team as well, so I'm kind of hoping he starts at the back. And then I'm gonna go next to him with who should I go with? I'm gonna go Pablo Mari. I'm actually gonna go Pablo Mari. I do hear what you're saying about Gabriel, and he is our best centre back. I agree with you, but the form for me, I'm gonna go with the form, and I'm gonna go with Mari and Holding at the back. And then we go into the midfield. I think Xhaka will come in. He didn't start against Newcastle, but he did come on and play. And this is the other dilemma. Does he go with Thomas Partey, back from injury, maybe not fully fit yet? Obviously, he hasn't played a game yet, hasn't touched the grass yet, really, apart from training. So I'm going to go with Ceballos, and I think maybe Partey will see him maybe in the second half, give him maybe a 30-minute run out or something like that. So I'm going to go with these two. Ceballos has been great in the past couple of weeks as well. Magnificent against West Brom. So I think them two will play. There's a chance Elneny will play, but I think he's done well enough to keep his place. And in the number 10, I'm gonna go with smith-rowe. I'm gonna go with smith-rowe. He's been brilliant for us in the past few weeks, and so for me has to play. Scored obviously the winner against Newcastle, or one of the goals against Newcastle in the cup, off the bench, so he'll go in. I think Saka again was rested and came on in the cup against Newcastle. He will go on right wing, in my opinion. Um, Guy's shown so much versatility already, man. Such a young age, because he's played left back, left wing back, left mid, left forward, number 10, right wing. I'm sure he played right wing back. Like the man's just been everywhere, man. A centre mid as well, left centre mid. So yeah, the versatility means that you can play him wherever you want, really. But he's played well on the right wing, so I think he'll keep him there. And I think Aubameyang will go on the left. I know he went up top against Newcastle, got his goal eventually in like the 190th minute. But I think Arteta will go with him on the left, which means that the man up top is Laka. Again, only played a few minutes against Newcastle last weekend off the bench in extra time for Pepe, and got an assist straight away. Man's on fire on form right now, Lacazette. So I think I think he has to start. I think he has to start, and if he starts, it means that Aubameyang gets put on the left. And listen, Aubameyang's not on blistering form right now, so he might have to just settle for a place in the left wing, and lucky to be there. Maybe if Martinelli was fit, which we know he's not for this game, then we could have had problems on that left wing for him to be starting. Adam Talk Sport says Ramsey Ollie out. I hate we still have him as Man United manager. What do you think? Listen, I don't listen. You want Ollie out? You lot get him out. You're top of the league right now, so um, he's guiding you lot. He's guiding you lot to the top of the league, and I still don't know if he's the guy going forward, but you can't really put any downer on him right now. He's top of the league, so yeah. I mean, easy for me. What are my thoughts on Mario? Yeah, as I just said, um, I think he's good. I still don't know about him yet. I'm still undecided on how good he is, but he's been solid. He's been solid so far. So I wouldn't be mad if he started today. I wouldn't be mad at all. Um, Jordan says, yeah, here I respect your opinion, but now is the time and was your great man. Stand by your man, Sir Alex Ferguson. You can't be calling for his head right now. You can't. You really can't. Like, Ollie's going absolutely nowhere. He's staying as Man United manager for the foreseeable future. We need to back everyone as of now for the position that we are in. Yeah, has to be done. Has to be done. Um, yeah, so yeah, that's the team that I think we'll play with. It's a strong lineup in my opinion. And one that I think can beat Crystal Palace if we're on form, if we're on game. Those of you that know that have been here before, you'll know I always do like a little prediction, and I'm currently predicting every single result for the season. I'm so far higher up than I thought I would have been, but for today's game, I think Arsenal will win today. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Arsenal today at home to Crystal Palace. I'm not really afraid of Zaha. He doesn't always shine against us. He sometimes struggles. So I'm not I'm not massively I don't think he's gonna bang today. And I'm hoping Leno will keep us a clean sheet. And then we move on up. We move on up. Duke says who do I think is gonna win the league? My prediction from the start of the season was Man City, and I'm not changing that whatsoever. Struggled in parts, but I think the way the season's going, it's actually lining them up so nicely with Liverpool struggling. I don't think Man United will be there for too long. So, yeah, man, I think City will. I think City will win the league this year, in my opinion. Jordan expects us to beat Liverpool 2-0 on Sunday. It's going to be a tight game. I'm going for a draw. I think Neeks has got a match preview out tonight or tomorrow. I think it's tonight. Man United versus Liverpool. So make sure you check that out. I think it will be a draw at is it Anfield? Anfield on Sunday. Jordan says Zaha is out for blood against Arsenal. It's no coincidence that he said recently they chose Pepe. Yeah, and we know what we did. Arguably, is it the wrong decision? Maybe, maybe not. We know Zaha went to a big club before Man United and he struggled a lot. So would he have done well at Arsenal? I don't know. But he's got a point to prove. He doesn't always prove it. That's the only problem. He doesn't always shine. And he's been up against some good defenders in the past and some poor defenders in the past. So I'm hoping, where is he on the left? So I'm hoping that Bellerin can keep him quiet today. And if he wants to try dare move on to Tierney's side, then he knows what he's got coming for him. But listen, guys, that's my prediction. 2-0 win. I'm going for the same team that we started last time in the league against West Brom. And yeah, man, hopefully we get 3 points, 3 points to Arsenal. Please, guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to Neeks Sports. I've got the match review coming out after the game today. So yeah, make sure you check that out. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon.